Hello everybody, I am Vanessa Caguas and I am very excited today because I'm going to share with you this important message. We're here to ask the community to help us spread the word and help this cause. Today you will meet this beauty queen, entrepreneur, and devoted mother who is racing against time to find a cure for a rare disease that causes blindness. April Lufriu, founder of the Tampa Chamber of the Foundation Fighting Blindness. I'm so happy we're finally here, gonna be able to tell the story of how everything started. How did you decide to be part of this foundation? What got you into this, April?
So it started with my sister. My sister was the first one to be diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa back in 1989. And then she went many years struggling. And it wasn't until we got the internet and she started Googling because we needed help. We had no support, no one else we knew that had the same eye disease. And just getting on the internet, she found the Foundation Fighting Blindness. So she connected with them. And there was no chapter here in this big, beautiful Tampa city that we have. And they asked us to be the founders. So my sister and I started the foundation here, and I'm the president and she's the vice president. So it really started with my sister, with her connection and with all of her struggles. And that was in 2006. So we're doing all this work, putting together vision walks to raise money for research. And then 4 years later, I took my kids to a routine eye exam and found out that both my children have retinitis pigmentosa, and as well as myself. So it was pretty devastating, but it was great to know that I was already surrounded by a wonderful community and meeting other people that had the same eye disease and meeting doctors and retinal specialists.
Well, you were half of the way already into
But
everything.
you know, when I found out, I felt like I hit ground zero. Like I went into deep depression because this is my children. And I see how my sister struggles, and I didn't want to have to deal with that for my kids. But here we are. But I have to say, sometimes things tragic happen to you to make you a stronger person. It actually made me into a leader. I never was a leader. I would never like speak on camera or super shy.
You make you Miss America!
Yes, so after my kids were diagnosed, I just felt like no one was listening. We were doing all these vision walks at Al Lopez Park, but I couldn't get TV stations or people like you to come and interview. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go back and enter in the world of pageantry because I used to compete for 22 years. I never won. All the years competing.
God, they were all blind there.
Yeah, they were blind. But I never won, and I think the reason why, if you are doing something as big as that and you're not doing it for a purpose, and really connecting with the human side of people, I don't know, I think you kind of get lost in the bunch. So I stood out as a mom, 2 kids, going blind. I mean, it's unusual. It's with a purpose. With a passion. With a passion. And I connected with all the judges. And I went from 0 pageant winning to winning Mrs. Florida. And then that's all I wanted. It was so weird.
No, but God gave you more.
He gave me more, and I wasn't expecting it. I remember when I won Mrs. Florida, I'm standing on the stage and I'm like, oh my God, this is happening. Because I connected with the Tampa Tribune and I said, if I win, can you please do an interview with me?
Oh my God.
And it was Chloe Cabrera. She was one of the newspaper editors, writers. And she goes, you win, I'll come do an interview. And she did a front page interview. But I'm on stage and I'm like, okay, I did my job. And then the director of the pageant goes, okay, now you're going on to Mrs. America in 6 weeks. And I was like, oh my God, what did I do? Like, I was happy with being Florida. But yeah, God granted me the ability to go Mrs. America, and I competed with 51 beautiful women for 2 weeks. It wasn't no like Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Wow.
At the Greenbrier. And it was really challenging emotionally because I felt like I didn't fit in. The reason why, because all the girls were like either super tall. or very young, and I was one of the older ones and the shorter ones.
Now that was it?
But it proves that you can break any kind of barrier. So I ended up winning Mrs. America, and it was like amazing. And I mean, when I say my life took off, I had speaking engagements, so I had to learn how to speak and be in front of people, and lots of travel.
Wow.
And then from there, 8 months later, I went to compete at World, and another 2 weeks, week and a half of competing, and I won Mrs. No. It's been 13 years.
Like a joke.
It was like a joke. I was like, what?
Oh my God, blessings.
I got goosebumps. I still get goosebumps because it's been the best blessing in my entire life. And I use those titles, like if I can't get my foot in the door with TV stations or magazines, all I have to put Mrs. World, and they're like, oh.
So Mrs. World too, huh?
Yes, Mrs. World.
Guys, incredible. This is amazing.
Thank you.
So that got you like a platform, more exposure for your true mission.
Yes. And I was a hardworking queen. I wasn't one of the queens that would just go and wave or be in parades.
Like how do you wave? Like this?
Or a photo shoot. My entire reign, I did one parade, one photo shoot. Everything else, I made hundreds of appearances, and I traveled over 150,000 miles, and everything I did was a speaking engagement.
Wow.
Talking about my kids. So,
wow.
I was a big hit in Vietnam. So I went to Vietnam twice, and they treated me like royalty. Like I thought I was a superstar. They had me on the front page. I met the president of Vietnam. And I'm like, I didn't get any of that here in the U.S. But abroad, all those countries like Peru.
And they help? They help the mission?
They did. They actually did a fundraiser, and they printed like this big, huge front page newspaper article about me and what I was doing. And I was like, I really appreciate the foreign countries, how they treat beauty queens, because they treated me like royalty. So thank you, Vietnam.
Thank you, Vietnam. And you can, contribute again.
Yeah, so it was one of the best experiences. And it feels like that journey has never ended. Like it's gotten busier, and it's opened more doors for other opportunities, but good opportunities like for people like you to reach out and give me like an open door to speak about my whole passion and my purpose in life.
Exactly. And how are we there in the passion and the purpose? They're looking for the cure. I know you're working with some doctors, and people are, coming close to put a stop to that.
We're working on it. So just to give you an analogy, when we started the foundation in 2006, there were no clinical trials, like zero. They were like gearing up and trying to start. And then 10 years later, boom, there's a ton of them. So there's a lot of clinical trials in effect, but it's coming from volunteers like myself. I'm a 100% volunteer. And it's all these other states in the U.S. that work for the Foundation Fighting Blindness as volunteers, raising money to help kickstart these clinical trials. So my son is in one.
Oh,
yeah.
cute.
So in 2020, right during COVID, when COVID was like really hitting strong, it was in February, we had to fly to Cincinnati, and they did the surgery. So now he's going on year 5, and he's got to go back actually in 2 weeks back to Cincinnati and get checked. So it's happening. It's happening.
You see that all this effort that you put through these years, is giving results.
Right, exactly. And that's the whole reason why I do it.
Right, and plus you're opening the door to other people, because you never know when it's going to happen to you or your kids.
I know.
So at least, you already did a lot of the hard work.
Yeah, and I get to meet other people that are looking into other things like technology. I have to say technology is going to surpass probably medicine, because look what Elon Musk is doing. He's developing some kind of mechanical thing to help really break through and cure blindness. So there's a lot of stuff in the works. There's a lot of things happening. But I feel like as a mom, I know if your kids had some kind of issue, you'd be doing the same thing I'm doing, working hard for that.
Probably, yes.
Yeah.
But it's inspiring, you know, it's inspiring the strength and the passion that you have, and like not sit around and say, no, let me wait until, no, you went to find.
Right. And I used to say that. I used to say, oh, I hope they find a cure.
Oh my God.
But who are they?
Right, there's nobody there really.
They is me and you.
Exactly. They is who?
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't sit home and complain. I put my shoes on and I make action happen.
I love that. Okay, everybody remember that. Put your shoes on and make action happen.
Yes.
So April, now how can we help? How can people donate? What event is happening? How can we follow the events and things like that, so that, you know, you need money donations?
Well, we have a big event coming up this Saturday, March 22nd.
All right.
It'll be from 6 p.m. probably till midnight. We like to have fun. So our events aren't boring for people who like to have a good time. Lots of music, great food. We're going to have 2 speakers, but mostly it's like being around people and just networking and dancing. We're going to have lots of dancing.
I'm going to be there, guys.
Yeah,
and I would love to see everybody there.
Yes.
And we'll send the link after the end of the video, so you guys can buy your ticket and go and meet her. Take a picture with Miss America, Miss Florida, you know.
Thank you.
And then if they cannot make it, how can we?
So you can also go to our national website, which is www.blindness.org. Very easy to find. And you can click on all the different chapters throughout the U.S. And if you're here in Florida, Tampa, you can click on the Tampa chapter and you can donate to our specific chapter. Everything goes 100% to the foundation, and I'm a 100% volunteer.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you guys. So thank you guys for listening until the end, for sharing, for donating. This is us. I mean, if this is from Tampa, we have to.
Yeah, you have to support us, Tampa girls. Yeah,
we have to be there for her and for all of us. So
well, thank you.
Thank you, April, for your time, and I'll see you Saturday with my dancing shoes.